Hello, Bill Molyneux here for Bill's History World with Goober, the Traveling Bear. Hey, where's Goober? Oh, there he is. We're at the Edinburg Mill, and there it is, the Edinburg Visitor Center and
All right,
Mill.
here we
An
go.
awesome
We
site.
are in the Edinburg Mill Museum. The place is huge, and you could spend an entire day going through this museum. We're on the first floor, and and Goober is here. We'll get him out later. Blue ribbon bread. Wow. There's a amazing. All right, let's go on in. There's so much to see here. I think there's 3 floors. We're going to do snippets. Winter Class A uniform. All right, let's continue on. They have a nice little display of military uniforms. There we go. And Red Cross memorabilia. A lot of Red Cross posters. Of course, we have to have our creepy doll. All right. Here's B-17 bombers, B-29, B-17. There's a... All right. All right, let's head upstairs. What do you say? We're just doing snippets. All right, here we go. We're going to the 2nd and 3rd floor. And by the way, the mill is haunted. We'll get to the area where the young man was killed accidentally, of course, in the millstones. And he still haunts the mill to this very day. I don't know which way to go. You could spend hours in here. The Edinburg Mill is in the Shenandoah Valley. It was not burned during the Great Burning of '64. There's a nice collection of toy cars. The mill is always changing. It's quite amazing. And how they get these big wagons up here is amazing. We got a hot air balloon here. The wicker basket. The open weaves allow the fuel tanks to ventilate through the basket walls. Without this benefit, fuel tanks need to be mounted outside of the basket. Okay. Wow, there's a pump organ. And very cool. And we'll head this way. Okay, model railroad. So much to see here. As you can see, it's incredible the amount of items they have in the Edinburg Mill. All right, as we travel down this pathway, there's another dowel. There's some Eastlake furniture. And there we go. All right, as we continue the pathway, the general store and hardware. I'm amazed how many general store videos I've made over time. Now we're going to stop back at this window of the pharmacy. Something I like to point out. See all that paper there? Those are prescriptions that have been turned in. Pretty cool, huh? Okay. I'll continue our pathway here. It's neat because the lights turn on when you enter a room. The Eyes Doctor. All right. There's just so much to see here. It's inconceivable. Well, as we continue down our pathways, there are so many neat things to see here, including there's parts of the mill's equipment still here. And Native American arrowheads, Native American toys and tools. All right, the burning. The burning is quite a big deal here in the Shenandoah Valley. It's when Sheridan came through and burnt every farm and barn and to try to disrupt the food for Robert E. Lee's army during the American Civil War. The Shenandoah Valley was called the breadbasket of the Confederacy. All right. Well, we have to get a picture of Goober here. Well, here we have moonshine in the valley. And Goober says he loves moonshine. All right, just joking. So, your corn gets heated up, water put through there. And if you're really curious, there you go. All right. And of course, bootlegging is illegal. Okay, everyone, let's go on up to the 3rd floor. What do you say? Now, Jeffrey Domowitz in Erie, Pennsylvania, he works for the Red Cross, and he would love these posters. And I got to move back this again. Here's the Red Cross posters. There are a lot of them. Your America Red Cross joined today. America Junior Red Cross. And wow. All right, so now we're going into the next floor. There's more woodworking equipment, tools of the woodworking trade. All right, the corn cob. So you've put your corn cob in there, turn the wheel, and the corn comes out over here. Okay, another pump organ over here. I got Goober in the Scoots travel bag. 1876 regimental coat. The 1876 Centennial celebration held in Philadelphia. Members of the Mechanics Union dressed in uniforms like those worn in the American Revolution and marched in the parade. Very cool. A lot of old cameras. Banking in the Shenandoah. Look at those ledger books. Holy cow. They're huge. Okay, let's... We're in the mill, by the way, the beams and everything are just incredible. And everyone is always so nice here at the mill. Lisa and I were actually considering moving to this part of Virginia, but we picked Matthews instead, but this definitely was in the running. Now, apples are a big deal here. We may even stop and see the Johnny Appleseed Museum if we have time. All right, the apple display. And then continue down here. And it's endless rooms of historic novelties. And here we have the clothing. And now, by the way, they do have an elevator, so if you can't do the stairs. And Victorian secrets. Okay. More exhibits this way, everyone. Follow me. All right. Now, here we go. On Friday, October 28th, 1898, a horrible accident. The youngest son, Ernest, remained in the basement helpless, watching his brothers as he was hurled to his death, and as the shaft threw Frank around and around, one of his feet struck him, Ernest, in the face, cutting a gash across the cheek, inflicting a very painful wound. As the shaft makes more than 150 revolutions in a minute, it could be seen how he was rendered unconscious from the awful beating of his head and body against the joints of the mill. The accident occurred about 1:30. The little fellow lived until about 5, but never regained consciousness. He was about 11 years old and was a healthy, vigorous child. So, Frank's flashlight's in there. Okay, young Frank Hotto lost his life in an accident at the mill. The brothers came to the mill to sharpen an axe. As they moved the belt drive to the proper stone, Frank's coat became entangled in the drive and he was killed. Paranormal investigators in 2011 were here, and they asked Frank to turn their flashlight on or off, which it did. They left the flashlight here for Frank to play with. There have been many sightings of Frank, the young 11-year-old boy, here at the mill. Okay. Wow. Okay. And we got a big Boy Scout display, which is very cool. And we'll continue down. We'll go downstairs now. Well, of course, Virginia is known for their Virginia baked hams. Virginia hams are the prize hog. Okay. By the way, the Camp Roosevelt, first in America, Civilian Conservation Corps. I've done a lot of videos on the Conservation Corps, Fort Frederick, outside of Big Pool Springs. Okay. Well, let's head back downstairs. One of the coolest things about the Edinburg Mill is their incredible gift shops. They have an enormous amount of really neat items for sale. And not just holiday items, they have French Indian War and Civil War books galore, and also clothing. And the Edinburg Mills gift shop also has a large collection of Civil War books, French Indian War books. It's quite amazing, all they have here. Plus they sell hoodies and cups, mugs. There we go. All right, well, we're gonna go get checked out after we check on a couple more items. Now, as far as French Indian War history, this book here, The French Indian War in the Shenandoah County, is really good, and it's a must-have book if you're into the French Indian War. I purchased several here for park rangers and myself. All right, let's go get checked out, and we gotta get on to our next exciting historic site. Well, Goober loves the Edinburg Mill. He's just finds everyone fantastic here. Please, please visit the Edinburg Mill here in the Shenandoah Valley. But if you have General Sheridan with you, leave him behind. Stay safe, be kind, be courteous, and don't forget to subscribe.